Scott Adams here, folks. Decided that I would do a little mini review on tonight's episode of Impact. Now, I don't actually watch that much, but I was home, so I decided to watch. So, surprisingly, tonight's episode really was not that bad. We had a lot of interesting storyline and a lot of interesting build-up going on here. First and foremost, we had an in-ring segment with Jeff and Matt Hardy, as well as EC3 and Tyrus. First and foremost, Jeff and Matt did a very good job of actually trying to make it interesting and personal and not trying to be a comedy act like so many things in WWE are right now. There's not really a lot of serious storylines. You've got the New Day, who is a comic act. You've got the Usos, who, even though they're not really supposed to really be a comic act, they come off as a comic act. You've got Ambrose, who's supposed to be the lunatic fringe, but other than eating popcorn, doesn't really do much but cracking jokes. So you really don't have that many serious storylines or deep storylines like you do here with TNA. The only thing I will say is I can definitely see why WWE chose not to renew or not to use Tyrus. Tyrus was formerly Brodus Clay, and let me tell you something. He picked the mic up and he talked tonight, and it is something that I never want to hear again in my whole life. If I never hear Tyrus talk again, it'll be too soon. What else did we have going on? Then we had Awesome Kong versus Gail Kim. For those of you who don't know, Awesome Kong has become a part of the Dollhouse. Very odd combination, but it's allowed Awesome Kong, whom many of you know as Karma, to show personality, to have fun, to show a little bit of her real charisma. So I give credit to that. She's still wrestling the same. Gail Kim is still wrestling the same. They put on a good match, and that match has been done for a while now. But it's still interesting, and it still keeps people involved. Next, we had some work between Beer Money, who has newly reunited. That's Bobby Storm. Wow, there you go. I'm ahead of myself. James Storm and Bobby Roode. That is Beer Money. And they faced Eli Drake and Jesse Gordars. However you pronounce his last name. Eli Drake has actually proven to me that he has really a large amount of mic ability. The guy's pretty good on the mic. Jesse is okay. He really does need Robbie E to hold him. But for the match it looked like it was pretty good. Then we have the debut of Mike Bennett, the Miracle Mike Bennett, with Maria, who we all know from ROH and actually WWE, versus Pepper Parks. It was a squash match, introducing him. Then we have our main event. Now this is where we had good storytelling going on. I'll tell you why. As the match went on, you started to see some things from both wrestlers that just didn't seem right at all, actually. EC3 is the heel in the match, and he's starting to respond to fans actually cheering for him. Matt Hardy is the face, and he's starting to respond to people booing him. So as the match goes on, spoilers here, you actually want to see it, Tyrus comes out towards the end of the match. And this is a last man standing match, belt versus career. Matt Hardy doesn't win, he's gone. EC3 doesn't win, he loses the belt. Tyrus comes out and attacks his own teammate in EC3, thusly turning Matt Hardy heel and EC3 face. And a lot of people are complaining about Matt Hardy holding the TNA World Heavyweight title. Now, I don't have a problem with this, and I'll tell you why. People don't like Matt having the title. Therefore, people dislike it. They hate it. Well, now, Matt Hardy is a bad guy. He's a heel. You are supposed to dislike him. So now, you can genuinely hate the guy for having the title. He can have genuine heel heat. It's not like what WWE is doing with Roman Reigns, which is taking a man, giving him the belt, and trying to get people to support him and stand behind him as a face, and nobody wants to. Nobody wants to support him. He still gets booed. He still gets disliked at arenas. This is what WWE should have done. If they would have turned Roman Reigns heel, it would have changed everything. But they didn't. They chose to keep him the way that he was. So that's my review. You know, it really wasn't a bad episode. I'm not going to lie, the production quality of the company has gone way down. They have something that resembles the last set that WCW ever had, a giant screen, including a portion of the digital screen that closes in behind the entrance walkway to make it a full screen as they're walking down. Yeah. You know, it's the ring. There's nothing fancy to the show anymore. I'm assuming they won't be using very many pyros. What would I love to see in the weeks that follow? They're kind of trying to rebuild the brand, I'm guessing, now that they're on a new station. Where is the X Division? Come on, this is what the company was made on years ago. I do want to see Crazy Steve used, and I think he was. I'm not sure. I have to go back and rewatch, but I believe he attacked the tag team champions and the Wolves. But overall, I give it 3 out of 5 stars, compared to maybe 1 out of 5 stars for WWE Raw. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't everyone start to say that, oh, I'm already a TNA mark. This is the first show that I've had on, been trying to pay attention to, for its entire episode. Unfortunately, I was on the phone with Time Warner Tech Support, so it was on mute. But from what I saw, it looked like it was interesting. It looked like people put their hearts and souls into what they were given creatively by the company. One person made the comment that what they loved was the show did not end on the heel turn. It did not end with Matt Hardy holding the title. The match ended and they went to another commercial break. When they came back, EC3 was still laid out. Matt Hardy was standing there with the title, with his wife, who is now heel, who has been in wrestling too, so this is not out of the ordinary, and with Tyrus. And Matt cut a very old school, beginning Attitude Era heel promo over a prone, now face EC3. WWE has not done something like that to end a show in a long time. If they do a turn, the turn itself is what ends the show. So for me, this was unique. I loved seeing it. Now, a lot of people say that this ending was written by Billy Corgan. Maybe. But they've also got a lot of other writers in the back that are former WWE writers, I'm sure, and maybe that's where they're stealing it from. Overall, an interesting show. If you guys have free time, just give it a look. Give it a chance. I'm not saying every show that they release is going to be gold. We know that not usually the case with most shows. But give it a chance.